How's it going, everyone? It's Carlos here with Backyard Diesels. I got a little tip for you guys on removal and installation on a 6.7 high pressure pump. I'm gonna hit some key points that'll make it a lot easier. That way you already know what you're gonna get into, and if you actually want to touch it, which I don't think it's very difficult. Maybe time. If it's your first time, one of the things that I recommend is before you remove everything or start removing stuff, get your phone. Hell, you probably looking at this video through your phone. Take pictures. Take a couple pictures, different angles, 2 or 3 pictures. That way you know where everything goes. As you remove one part, take another picture. You remove second, and so forth. That way you have something to go back to. But I'm gonna show you step by step on how. I have everything pulled apart, so it's kind of a little bit easier. That way you can see on where to start. So, okay, here we go. First thing you need to do is remove your cold intake, the upper part. So remove this. That goes into your turbo. So I'm gonna show you where it's at over here. I'm gonna try to see if that'd be your first part. That sits in here, goes into your upper section of the turbo, cold side. That'll be your first step. You remove that. After you remove that, you're gonna have a little bit more room. You can see what you're gonna get into. Then you're gonna start with your fan. And before you start with your fan, there's this hose that comes also right here on your charge cooler. You know, it's not like the 6.0s that are cooled through the radiator. It's actually coolant cooled. So that hose is this one right here. This is exactly how it sits in the truck, just like that. So you remove this hose here. All you do is loosen up the clamp right here. This one, just work it out, pull it out with a little pick, pull that out, and then boom, that's out. This stays on there. I'll get to that here in a little bit. After you remove that, I'm gonna show you a trick on. You're gonna have to loosen up your belt. Here's your tensioner. Loosen up your belt. Take pictures of the belt. Hell, I still struggle to the belt to this day. Don't matter which one it is, but it don't matter. That's in the given. After you do that, you got this cover. Oh shoot! Before I get to, I was missing one part. Here's your fan. Your fan. This fan has 5 bolts. They're kind of, the bottom one's the hardest one to get to. It'd be here, 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 and here. And there'd be long. Here they are. So remove that. That's after you remove your tensioner. That way you have room to get into. You don't have to remove anything else. I kind of loosen this up. I remove my battery just so I like throwing tools in there. But you don't have to. After you remove your fan, just drop it, leave it in there. It ain't going nowhere. It's not going to be in the way. After you do that, then you got your pump cover, which is this one here. And this one only has 4 bolts. So this sits just like that. So there it is. 1, 2, 3, and the one's at the bottom down here. Is this thing still recording? Good. Then you remove your cover. Okay, what's the next step? Alright, you remove your cover. You don't unhook it. Usually on the vacuum pressure oil lines. Okay, you pull this off. Then you're gonna have this pulley that's inside of here. Remember, it's timed. I've got oil on here. Let me clean it up a little bit. Well, it's got 2 marks right here. Remember, it's timed. And you're gonna use a 1 1/16 socket. So this socket, it's right here. This socket, you're gonna use that to time it. You really don't have to time it. There's a trick, but since I'm doing this video, first timers, go ahead and time it. And let me show you why. Whenever you buy the high pressure pump, which is this one, I did another video on the failure and what happened on this one. So if you want to look at, just look through my page. So this is timed. This is gonna sit in here, and these 2 marks, you'll see them on the cam, and I'll show you that right now. So that goes there, and I'm gonna show you a trick how to get this one out. So time it, turn it clockwise. Make sure you see these 2 marks down here, which I'm about to show you. They're kind of difficult to see, but they're right. I don't know, is this thing pointing? Let me see. Where is my finger? Oh yeah, there it is, kind of. So you could kind of use this little hump right here on your front cover as a guide, which they're right there. So I don't know, let me get a flashlight. That way you know where I'm pointing to. Okay, I don't know, hopefully y'all can see that, because I can't switch on this damn phone. It's upside down now, but there they are. Hopefully you can see them. Okay, after you timed it, what you're gonna do, you're gonna grab your 1 1/16 socket. You set it on there, and it's counter clockwise, but you don't want to use pressure. You want to pretty much hit it. You want to break it loose. It doesn't take much. Use your little mallet on your wrench. Just give it a nice good whack on your 1/2 inch. Okay, after you remove that socket, I'm gonna show you how to remove this pulley. Where's it at? Here we are. You'd have this pulley sitting in there. It's gonna be sitting in there just like this. Now here's the trick that I was gonna show you. On your upper intake, which is this one here, use 2 of your small screws. There's not a lot of force. These are crazy everywhere. This is my cheap little puller. This thing works every time. So I'm trying to do this with one hand. Okay, you're gonna come in here with your pulley. Well, I'll use some washers before you put it in there. This does not require a lot of force. The only thing pretty much that's holding this is after you clock it, there's a little pressure on there. Okay, that's all. Damn, I wish I could flip this stupid phone, but I can't. So then, get as tight as you. It's going to be a little loose on this one. This is, where did I get this from? I think I got this from O'Reilly's. It's come with a little bit head. You don't need it. There's not enough pressure on there to hurt anything. Come in here, once it's tightened. Oh, give me a sec. That's all you do. You do not need a lot of force. Use those bolts. Nothing's going to happen. Make sure they're all the way in there. Boom, this pulley's going to pop off. And after that, you just pull it out by hand. So that's one of the tricks. Because it doesn't come with those metric threads. Well, this small anyways, for that pulley. So, okay, once you remove that gear, you're done pretty much for the front part. You leave that alone. So now you have, this is what you're going to have here. It's just this upper part. Now you're going to go back to trying to remove your high pressure pump. So to remove your high pressure pump, before you get to that, now you have another hose. This one right here, you charge your hot hose. Remember, 9/16 or 11 millimeter. This little clip, this sits like here up on your turbo hot side. You got to wiggle it out next to there on your cooler. So remember, move this out of the way. All right, where are we at? So now that you got that out of the way, wait, did I skip a step? Yeah, never mind, forget that. That's the second step after this, or third, fourth, where I'm at. You remove your upper intake, which is this one. Remember, 3, 4, and 4, and then you got these 3 here in the middle. 4 actually, sorry. 4. They're 8 millimeters, all of them. That's your upper part, but when you remove that, you have to remove this. Not remove it, just loosen it. loosen this 8mm right here. That's a heater hose. That way this moves just enough so you could pull that upper intake off. Then that will give you like the bigger picture. Then you're gonna have access to this line. Then your hot side line, that's the second part, the line I just showed you before that, which is this one. You remove this line here. Okay, after you've done that, this one did I talk about removing this one? This one you can just remove it whenever after the upper intake. I don't know if you have room. Yes, you do. I'll just wait for this one, remove your upper intake, then these two lines. Then you have your lower intake, which is this one here. And then you got your exhaust tube. This sits right here, which goes right here. So that sits right there. What I do on those bolts, I just put them back in there. It won't hurt it when you come back. You remove that, and also your heater, your temperature sensor, exhaust temperature sensor. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. So this sits, remember, take pictures where everything goes. This sits in here on that hose right in this little welderlet. Okay, we're down to that. Then you're gonna pull this lower intake. You got this hose. I just pull the whole thing. You just press it and it'll pop out, which I'll show you where that goes right now. And what you do on these two clamps, I just remove the one closer to the turbo, this one and this one. Alright, so that goes, those clamps sit right here. It's 1 and 2. So now you're good to go to remove the lower intake, which is only 3 bolts. And I'll show you those. Let me see. 3 bolts, here they are. Here and here. And remember, pull this clip. I guess I forgot to show you where that one goes, but you'll figure it out. Right here on your separator, on your oil separator right here. Remember, just clip it, pump it out. Alright, once you're set, done on that, that's how the pieces you should have on the ground. Now you're moving up to removing the high pressure pump. You're just a little closer. So when removing the high pressure pump, what I recommend, have your little canister right here. Take pictures, take another few pictures on the bolts. They're all 8mm, all of them. You could put that screw back in there once you remove your upper intake. There you go. And just start moving these harnesses and cables, and remember, you still got your picture to go back on. Alright, so you remove your upper hose. It's got a lot of tie-in points. None of these hoses move like this, but you're going to need this movement to loosen up. So remember, remove everything that you can see, which will be this one in there. You need that small 8mm wrench, however you can get to it. That's the hardest one to move. So not really hard, but to get to it. Remove your ones that go here on your high pressure pump, which are these. This one's, it just has a clip. It's set like this. Where are they at? They're in there somewhere. And remember to catch those clips. Let me pull them out because they're a little tricky. Here it is. So this sits in there like this on top of the high pressure pump. So here are these clips I'm talking about. Get a little screwdriver to get them off. Remember to catch them. And even if you do drop them, you're going to remove the pump. They'll be in there. Just don't try to force them too much. So these are all your screws for the high pressure lines. Here they are. Remember, you can still go back on your pictures. Everything you want it loose. You need room to get everything out, to get the high pressure pump out. Okay. Now we're moving on to, let me see. Just making sure I catch everything. Okay, now we're on the high pressure pump. So you removed all the hoses already in the high pressure pump. This is where those 2 hoses go to. The ones with the little funny clips in there. Those C-clips. And these are your high pressure pumps. Fuel lines. So remember, You already removed the sprockets, you're good to go. You got 3 bolts. These have guides on which I'm fixing to show you the bolts. They're funny looking. Here they are. They're 13 mils. They sit right there. Can you see them? Where's the stupid camera? Alright, it's right there. Right here. So these go in right here. After you removed all 3 of them, that pump might be a little snug. Don't go on prying just yet. Like one of the things that I do, I take a little pry bar and use this intake as leverage right here. Where's the... I put it up. I'm gonna use this one. Pretend this is a little bigger size. I put it right in here. Make sure, be careful on your pressure sensor, not to break it. Get in there and wiggle it out with one hand. Move it, rock it back and forth, rock it back and forth. Just keep rocking it. Don't go forcing nothing. After you done rocked it, you're gonna be with the pick I was telling you, or your screwdriver. Let me get it. This is what I use. You're gonna come straight. Don't touch the right in here. That's how the pump's gonna be facing the engine, just like this. So just remember, grab these sides right here, but rock it. Don't force it out. Just keep rocking it back and forth, rocking it. It'll eventually pop out. Now that it's done popped out, all you have to do is turn it to the left side. I've always tried to the right. I can never get them out. I turn it to the left and wiggle it out, and boom, there you go. That's all you do. I don't know. I'm a little bit tired. Hopefully I was able to hit all the key points. I think I got everything covered. Now that you see what parts do you have to remove, you know exactly pretty much what to do. And something that I like doing, so you won't have bolts everywhere, I just put them back where they go. Remove it, put it to the side. And the reason I did this for, that way you could see this will be the front of the engine, and that's how it goes. Well, this goes like that. So there you have it. Hopefully I was able to catch everything, fellas, and this could help you out. I didn't see if there's a way how to remove it, and that's pretty much it. Let me see, and I'll remember the on the harness for the fan, which goes through here. You're gonna have to loosen that up to get to the. When you come through the belt here on your camo, you have your pictures on your crank. It's gonna go in between that. One belt's on the bottom, one on the bottom and one on the top. So here's that way you can get the bigger picture. This is all you need. If you wanna, and so remember, these are all my fuel bolts. Your fan bolts, your cover bolts, your high pressure bolt for the pulley, your front cover, and this is what I used. And I'm missing which was the pry bar and a small sledgehammer, 7 pound, 5 pound. Just remember, give it that good little whack. This is all you need to do whatever. I guess I could go through your screwdriver to remove your tabs, extension, 8 mils, 10 mils, 7/16 or 11, 13, 15. What's the 19? What I use the 19 for? Trying to remember. I think it's unrelated. 19. Nope. Did I use a 19 here? No 19. Why don't I have this here? I don't remember. Okay, your 3/4 wrench, your 1/2 inch wrench, and then your 8mm wrench. And 14 mil. You do not need the 14 mil. So this is mixed in here somehow. Your little pick. These are very handy, little tight spots. But all right, fellas. Hopefully this helps you out. I know it's kind of. Usually I have my buddy. We're gonna start doing a little bit more videos on removal, installation, and diagnosis. How to diagnose. It's really time consuming. A lot of it's being lazy. This is just my way of giving back to everyone that's done helped me out on YouTube so far. So good luck, fellas. If you have any questions, give me a holler, and I'm gonna upload a video on how to diagnose this and so forth. But alrighty, appreciate you guys.